Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. For today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the rumors about Kyrie Irving and essentially his future, not only on the Brooklyn Nets, but really in the NBA in general. So before we get going on today's video, if you guys don't mind leaving a like, 1,000 likes is always the goal, especially, man, leaving those likes on this type of video where, you know, I'm talking about like rumors and stuff like that, man, because I love talking about basketball. So when you guys, anytime you guys show support on this type of video, man, it just absolutely makes my day. So thank you all so much for that. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. So yes, we are going to be talking about Kyrie Irving. If you guys have not heard yet, I'm sure you probably have by now. Basically, every single day there's a new player or two listed that are kind of being released to the media or maybe making it known public themselves that they are not interested in getting the vaccination for COVID. And, you know, the NBA, as a private institution and everything, they have a right to uphold the rules and everything and say, well, like, hey, if you don't get this, then you are not going to play, you know, in these select arenas that abide by these certain rules, right, man? So we're not really going to get into the political side of the vaccination. I think at this point, everybody has their opinion, and yeah, I just feel like as the human society and everything, I feel like really once somebody gets their opinion, it's really hard to change. Like, I'm not going to change anybody's opinion. I'm really not. So we're going to talk about the basketball side of things. My grandma always told me growing up, yo, Crispy, or she didn't say yo, Crispy, little Craig, I guess, I don't know, grandson probably. You know, if you're interested in keeping your friends, don't talk about money, politics, or religion. So yes, we try to avoid all those topics when it comes to my YouTube channel because obviously, man, like, I don't want to like split my audience or anything like that. So yes, let's talk about the basketball side of things here, man. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody yet, okay? I really hope I didn't offend anybody yet, but we just try to keep it real here, man. So yes, Kyrie Irving, so basically is saying that he doesn't want to get the vaccination, which means that he has two options as of right now. It's either, you know, get it, or it's miss essentially, actually probably more than half of the Brooklyn Nets NBA games, because not only would he not be able to play in any of the Brooklyn Nets home games, but also any arena that requires a player to be vaccinated. So when it comes down to it, you know, Kyrie Irving, I thought it would be kind of interesting to say, okay, what happens? Like, what happens next? Like, let's assume he's just like, I don't want it. Kevin Durant can't talk him into it. What happens as far as, you know, a trade goes, or does he retire or whatnot, right, man? So, there's rumors out there that if he were to get traded, he said he would just retire. That does not surprise me one bit. Kyrie Irving, I always kind of thought was somebody that was going to have a very early retirement. I think he actually said in the past where he was just kind of like, yeah, like, I'll probably just wake up one day. I don't want to play till I'm like 40 or anything like that and just be like, you know, I'm kind of done with the game of basketball. So definitely a route he could go. The man has a championship and everything. And I think he's solidified himself, you know, is definitely one of the better point guards of this generation. Now, I don't know if I'm personally ready to say that Kyrie Irving is like a GOAT type of point guard. I think he's a step down from that, where it's like, yes, we recognize the skill. We see what he's done over the years, especially with the days with LeBron James and everything like that. So yeah, man, I do think from a basketball standpoint, Kyrie still has a bit more things that he could do out there to really solidify his legacy, right? So, yeah, so looking at Kyrie Irving last NBA season, like, if you actually look at his stats, he probably had his best season in the entire NBA. Now, he played 54 games. Obviously, it was a shortened season. He also missed some times for some other personal reasons. But you look at the stats, man, you know, 27 points. That is near his career high. Okay, so the season before we got with the Brooklyn Nets, that was only in 20 games, though. So, yeah, so basically, his career high, 27 points, got himself his 6 assists right around the career average. Rebounds was good, but then you look at the efficiency, man, 51% field goal percentage and 40% from three, both, you know, above his career average. So Kyrie Irving, especially when you think about who he's playing with, that being Kevin Durant and James Harden, that's hella impressive. Now, obviously, we didn't really get to see him play with those guys all too much because of injuries and guys, you know, just crossing as far as like when guys are out and when guys are playing. But regardless, I still think that's pretty dang impressive that, you know, going through all these different lineups, these different, you know, having different superstars in and out and playing with different role players, that Kyrie had his most efficient season. Like, that's actually really impressive if you ask me. So, yes, if he were to get traded, I think he would definitely, you know, have a lot of buyers out there. As far as what his trade value is, I mean, like I said, missing NBA games and not really knowing the future of, you know, vaccination requirements when it comes down to the National Basketball Association. There is, you know, a little, I believe it's called eccentric risk. I don't know, man. I'm trying to go back to my finance days. I don't know, bro. I use damn, you know, I do my damn stock trading every single day or anything. I don't remember the terminology, though. I have a finance degree, but, you know, what's it called, man? Eccentric risk. No, there's intrinsic value. I don't know. I'm not going to bore you guys with that type of detail. I'm sorry. I'm looking up to the video, right? Okay, so going to the NBA Trade Finder, I guess like the first thing we have to do is look at what type of team would actually be a solid fit for Kyrie Irving. Like any team could use a scoring point guard that can get other players involved, obviously. But yeah, so what team's the best fit? Atlanta Hawks don't make sense. Boston Celtics, been there, done that. Brooklyn Nets, current team. Charlotte Hornets, one thing to actually think about, though, is, like, I guess Kyrie, because they have him listed as the point guard. I actually think that might be false. I think he spent more time at the shooting guard position last season with James Harden being the primary ball handler, but they probably just listed it that way. They probably have James Harden listed as the shooting guard. So, yeah, he can also play shooting guard, obviously, man. So, LaMelo Ball with Kyrie Irving, hey, I'll be down for that. Chicago Bulls, I think, would have been a great fit if they never went for Lonzo Ball, but at the same time, a guy like Kyrie is probably going to be, despite trade value not being as high as it probably would be under normal circumstances, still going to be a big asking price. So the fact that Chicago got Lonzo Ball was good enough. Cleveland Cavaliers, if Evan Mobley was like a few seasons ahead, then I think that would actually be really cool if he went back to Cleveland, but that's not going to happen. Because that would be like the big baller move right there, is to go to Cleveland and win a championship for Cleveland without LeBron James. Like, hey, I can do it too, man. Like, I feel like that would be really cool. Dallas Mavericks, I actually really like the idea of Luka next to Kyrie. I think that would work out phenomenally. As far as the type, well, I guess, well, I don't know. Do I want to use like the trade finder or whatever? Not trade finder, saying no bitch ass 2K. Okay, so we got, I guess we'll just go through the teams and then we'll go into like decide like what trades make sense. Denver Nuggets, I mean, something to Jamal maybe, but I don't really think so. Detroit Pistons, not going to happen. Golden State Warriors, not happening. Houston Rockets, not going to happen. Although, maybe something like some sort of like John Wall, Christian Wood. You get John Wall, the veteran point guard over on the Nets. You get Christian Wood out of it. And then Kyrie with Jalen Green. That's something to actually kind of think about, man. Indiana Pacers. Pacers have a lot of good assets. If they could pull away like Miles Turner, like a Malcolm Brogdon, that'd be kind of cool. LA Clippers, you got. I think he's actually interested in playing in LA. So there's not really a good way to do that, though, without trading away either Kawhi or Paul George, and that's not going to happen. Los Angeles Lakers, it's not going to happen. Be crazy if it did, but it's not, man. Memphis Grizzlies, no. Miami Heat already got Kyle Lowry. Milwaukee Bucks, you could probably make a case, actually, like some sort of like Drew Holiday plus assets type of thing, just because, you add the additional defensive player to the Brooklyn Nets. That's probably what they would be looking for. Minnesota, I would actually love to see D'Lo back on the Brooklyn Nets, but it's not going to happen. New Orleans Pelicans, if you could somehow team up Kyrie with Brandon Ingram and Zion, that'd be crazy. New York Knicks would be kind of cool to see, but yeah, I can't really think of that trade that would happen. OKC Thunder, if they just want to drop them off there, for some draft picks or something. Orlando Magic, 76ers. Okay, so let's get past 76ers. Phoenix Suns already got CP3. They already got Damian Lillard. Already got De'Aaron Fox. Spurs not happening. Raptors, they don't really have like the defensive guys that they would want. Utah Jazz, Rudy Gobert for Kyrie straight up might be interesting. And then you have the Washington Wizards, probably not going to happen. So let's go to this. Let's go to the trade thing real quick here, man, because there's two teams obviously that I was really focused on, kind of like trying to make sense of. And yeah, obviously the 76ers, there's a big one, there's a big rumor going on here where the trade would essentially be Ben Simmons to the Nets for Kyrie Irving. Where is Kyrie Irving at, man? Kyrie, where are you? Oh, there you are. There you are. Okay. So, the reason this would probably make... One sec. I gotta do that. Sick editing here, man. That's sick editing. There we go. The reason this would make kind of sense for both sides is because, like I was saying, Kyrie Irving's trade value would be down a little bit. Ben Simmons, I think, is at an all-time low. And when it comes down to it, Ben Simmons has the defense. He has the playmaking. He would just work out with, Kevin Durant and James Harden. Now, it would be a lot of James Harden needing to play off ball, which I don't know if you like that too much, but just because, like, if Ben Simmons is not playing, like, does not have the ball in his hands, then he's essentially useless offensively. I mean, he can, like, cut to the basket and everything like that, use his athleticism and get there his quickness, but yeah, for the most part, you still want to run through Ben Simmons, but you get the defense out of him, and then Kyrie Irving, you get one of the best point guards in the NBA playing with Joel Embiid, so, yeah, now you could probably argue maybe some role players, maybe some picks get kind of flipped back and forth, but I think this is one that if something crazy were to happen, it would be something like this. They'll try the trade, and it is successful. Plus 2 wins for the 76ers, -1 for the Nets. But team fit-wise, I think that Ben Simmons does make at least some sort of sense. So we have that one for us. What's the other team that I was kind of interested in talking about? I think I was considering maybe the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks would be kind of interesting. Like I said, Luka with Kyrie, it would be kind of nice, but you get Kristaps Porzingis, you know, a guy that can space out the floor, play on the inside. Obviously not playing as good as he once did, but I still think under the right circumstance. Now, the issue with Kristaps going to a team like the Brooklyn Nets is that we know, you know, him being on the Dallas Mavericks, he's kind of having issues with, like, well, I want to be traded like a number one option. And that's not happening with Dallas because you got Luka, and that's definitely not happening with the Nets because you got James Harden and Kevin Durant. So, once again, player personnel-wise, I think that the players fit. The ego with Kristaps, I'm not quite sure what to work on. Once again, man, we're doing, you know, just off the top of our heads type of trade. Obviously, you know, other things would probably be involved, but Kyrie with Luka, I think, would be magical. Like, sign me up for that. To me, that's a championship team. Although, it'd be interesting. So let's try this trade real quick here, and that one is also successful, man. So, yeah, those are two types of trades, with other parts added in, obviously, that I kind of like. That I kind of think makes sense. What are my predictions on what's going to happen when it's all said and done, when it comes down to Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets? It's so hard to say. He's a very unpredictable type of player. I don't think anybody is going to convince Kyrie to do anything he doesn't want to do. So, I'm not quite sure, man. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. Hopefully you guys did all enjoy this video. Like I said, the point of this video was to talk about the basketball rumor side of things, not to, you know, talk about things that you hear about every single day that you probably watch YouTube to get away from, right? So, yeah, man, hopefully I was respectful to your thoughts and your opinions, because, you know, I know that we don't know each other personally, but I do value, you know, your thought and feedback and everything like that, man. So thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.